G'day, Jason the Middle-Aged Gear Junkie here. You were listening to the PastFx TDY Overdrive, which is the first pedal in their new series of pedals called the Spectrum Collection. This pedal has a really interesting story behind it, which I'll tell you at the end of the video, but right now, let's go through and listen to what this pedal can do. This is my clean sound. I'm using my Strat on the neck pickup through my deluxe reverb. And here's the TDY. Now I've got it on the same setting that I had for the opening track. As you can see, I've rolled off a little bit of bass because neck pickups tend to be a bit bassy, and I've wound in a little bit of highs just to give it some spank. Right, as you can see there, the gain's quite low. The gain on this is very responsive, so it really will respond well to your pick attack. So if you play quietly, you get a slight amount of break up. If I dig in, get a fair bit of break up. So it's super responsive as an overdrive. One of the things I love about this pedal is that the EQ section here is bipolar. Now what that means is that in a 12 o'clock sort of situation, it's neutral, and we can either add or subtract low or high end. So a lot of pedals don't allow you to do that. Like if it has a bass control, for example, it can only add bass frequencies, it can't take them away. So for example, you know, I'm on my bridge pickup now. Bridge pickups on a Strat are very twangy. So that actually needs a bit of extra bass. And I could also balance it out by taking out some of the highs. Now I have a more well-rounded rhythm overdrive. Let's see how much gain this pedal has. It's got lots of sustain there, which is great. I'm at a fairly low volume as well. So the more gain that we add in, it feels like it's starting to clip harder as well. So not only are you getting more saturation, but you're getting harder clipping, I find. Let's see how much gain we can get with humbuckers. A fair bit, and it's a little bit woolly. It almost becomes a little bit like a fuzz the more you turn it up. So it's incredibly versatile. So right down with the gain really low, it's almost like a clean boost. That's on the neck pickup now. The main appeal for me with this pedal is how naturally it breaks up. Now, I use my fingers a lot, and I like to be able to control the amount of breakup just with my picking response, and this pedal here does that very, very well. Like I said earlier, the PastFx TDY has a really interesting backstory, and it starts with the old tube driver. Now, this was an overdrive pedal made in the 70s that was manufactured by a company called Butler. It was also manufactured by a company called Chandler, and it's a valve-driven or tube-driven overdrive that sounds incredibly natural. But the problem is it runs off mains power, it doesn't run off an adapter, and it's quite large and it can be a bit noisy and all the rest. But it was favoured by a couple of very famous guitar players, one of them being Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd, the other being Eric Johnson. In the early 2000s, a company called Buffalo Effects decided to replicate the circuitry from the old tube driver, but replace the tube with FETs instead. And all of the reviews that I found of this pedal online were highly, highly praising this thing, saying it was an amazing, natural sounding overdrive / boost. In fact, there's a site called Gilmourish, and they delve into the tone of Dave Gilmour and tell you about products that you can buy to help replicate his tone. They rated this pedal very, very highly. There was just one problem. In the early 2010s, they just disappeared. And from what I can find out, I think they took money for pre-orders, but they went bankrupt and people lost their money and so on and so forth. So this amazing pedal just basically disappeared off the market. So PastFx from Brisbane have brought out the TDY, which is basically the same circuitry in an even smaller enclosure, and it sounds amazing. It's incredibly responsive as an overdrive. It gets well into distortion territory by turning it up. It sounds very natural. It's very responsive to the way I play, which I love. The EQ is interesting because it's bipolar, which again, I love bipolar EQs. All in all, this is a really versatile pedal that can do anything from boost through to overdrive and distortion, all in one box, and I rate it very, very highly. You can find out more information about this on the PastFx website, which I have put in the description below. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and remember you can join the Middle Aged Gear Junkie Facebook page. I've put the link in the description below. Other than that, my name is Jason. I hope you have a great day. See you later.